Hey man, what's
Yo,
up?
yo, what's up? What's up? What's going on?
Chilling, man. Boxing's on now, so I'm actually hyped that it's back on. So
Yeah, 100%. I'm happy it's back. I can't wait to get back in there.
I know I got a good feeling that we're gonna see you guys like here locally. Hopefully the end of July or August. I feel like it's starting to clear up a little bit here. So hopefully we're able to see you at the 2200 arena maybe. So I'm
Oh yeah, I love fighting the 2300 arena. The Philly fans and everything. So I definitely can't wait. July would be amazing, but August would be cool too. So can't complain.
for sure. All right, cool. So I'm gonna do an intro and then we'll get in the questions. All right. So this is my guest, awesome prospect, undefeated, 16-0, 10 knockouts. Raeese Aleem, thank you again so much for joining. We really appreciate it.
No problem. No problem. Glad to be here.
So why don't you tell everyone where you're from?
I'm originally from Muskegon, Michigan. Moved to Las Vegas, Nevada to pursue my career in boxing. So I believe in myself. So I moved out here with no family, no friends, just to solely for boxing.
Wow, that is awesome. Now when you moved out there to Vegas, did you like wind up getting a job first, or were you just 100% bought into just training and just trying to make money off of those club fights first?
It was actually, I had a little bit of money saved up, so and the funny thing is, I moved out here with a plan A and a plan B.
Ah,
Well,
okay.
plan A didn't even work out, which I don't know why because I was calling and double checking, but plan A didn't work out, so I went with plan B, but I hit the ground running, just found a few boxing gyms and was looking for a coach. It took me a while to find a coach. I didn't find a coach for like a year and a half,
Oh
you
wow.
know. Yeah, because it's like you got to find the right fit. I'm not trying to be with this guy and be with that guy. I just need something solid.
Yeah.
But so eventually after I was here for a few months, then I got a job and continued to train and did that struggle,
Awesome.
working and boxing and all that.
Yeah, I mean, all of us can totally respect the grind and all. So I actually appreciate fighters more, like when they all tell their stories about the grind, and then when they, make it and holding up that belt, that it all paid off. It was worth it.
Exactly. It's trials and tribulations. You just got to see it through. Stay consistent.
Course. And then what did you start boxing at?
What gym did I start boxing at?
Sorry, I'm not sure if my connection is a little jumpy or not. I was saying, what age did you start boxing at?
Oh, I started boxing when I was like 14. Yeah, started boxing when I was 14. I was in the karate gym at the age of 3. I got
Oh,
my black belt. Yeah. I used to love karate. It was crazy.
wow.
Traveling around, going to tournaments and all that. It was super fun. But I got my black belt when I was 12, turning 13, and
Oh,
then my dad took me to the boxing gym, and I was kind of beating up the guys who had like 20, 30 fights. So
yeah.
I just stuck with it.
Oh wow. Okay. Now like once you were in the boxing gym, like did you take a break from like all the karate stuff, or do you kind of use karate as well too for like your cardio and all?
No, once I started boxing, it was solely boxing. I feel like karate just gave me the good footwork,
Yeah.
and it was always like taught in my head like to be humble, never get the big head and this and that. And so it was like a lot of discipline carried over from karate into boxing.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Wow, that's really cool. I think you might be my first boxer I ever heard that started out doing karate and then wound up jumping into boxing. That's actually really cool. That's awesome to hear.
Yeah.
That's cool. So like if you can remember, if you could talk about amateurs, so like if you remember your record, I'm sure you probably went through a ton of fights and all. And then if you could talk about some of your achievements and all, that'd actually be cool too.
As an amateur, I was like 65-10 as an
Wow.
amateur. I've only ever lost to like the top guys, so it's like the amateurs is like that experience. I've had it to where I'm walking in like quicksand. I have no legs, but
Yeah.
I didn't give up and I still ended up winning the fight. And that's just something like experience that can carry over into the pros,
Hmm.
So like when you're in the championship rounds and you're feeling like you're in quicksand, but you've been there before. So
Yeah.
now you know how to conduct yourself, you know. let's see, Golden Gloves. You know, I made it to the National Golden Glove semifinals 2 years in a row. Lost 3-2 split decisions, both controversial, but I was right there both years back to back. Um, Fought at the USA's, made it to the finals, and lost a 3-2 split. You know, again controversial.
Yeah, of
I,
course.
I actually lost to a guy from Philly. But Damon Allen, or no, not
Yes. Yeah, that sounds familiar. We do have a Damar Allen here.
yeah,
You ever?
yeah. So I lost to him, but he was holding like the whole fight. The next fight, he fought Jose Ramirez, and he ended up getting disqualified for holding.
Holding, okay.
Uh, yeah, but amateurs was fun. You know, being a kid from a small town, Muskegon, Michigan. There's a lot of people who've never been out of their own city. You know, so boxing was always my outlet. You know, no matter what was going on in life, boxing was going on, so I could go to Chattanooga, Tennessee to the Nationals, or Little Rock, Arkansas to the Nationals, or Indianapolis to the Nationals and stuff like that. You know, so you know it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's actually the cool thing too with like the travel and stuff. Like you actually go to cities and stuff that you might never not see again. I mean, like if like your fight name ain't called, like it's like cool to actually go and see like Chattanooga, Tennessee, and all and like all the other cities too. Yeah,
Right. You know, it kind of just opens your eyes, especially being young, like, oh, okay, you know.
yeah, for
But
sure.
yeah, but I mean besides that, you know, I was just my ultimate goal was to turn uh it wasn't even the Olympics, you know. I don't know why. My dad he wasn't big on the Olympics. He was like, "Oh, you know, if you're going to be boxing, you got to turn pro cuz I grew up watching Mike Tyson and stuff, and my
Yeah,
dad was a big Mike Tyson fan and stuff. And so yeah, it was just all about, you know, the next step, because Olympics is still amateur, but the money, you know, if you're going to be getting hit in the face and the head and whatever,
right.
make the
Paid for it.
money.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, you actually answered my question because that's actually my favorite one. I always like to follow up with. So, like guys like Fulton Jr. Told me that once they stopped the headgear, that was when he knew that he was gonna go, and then other guys just like made that decision themselves, exactly like you, that said that you might as well start getting paid for it.
Yeah, I mean, there's no other point, especially if you can compete. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? Like, if you can compete and this is what you're doing, then take that next step. You know, if
Right.
you can't, then maybe you should just kind of stay where you're at, because it's not meant for everybody.
Exactly. So my next question, I usually love to answer this because I usually get like a mixed answer. I just like to ask this to show that boxers are human or maybe not human. So your pro debut fight was on September 10th, 2011, Civic Center in Michigan,
Yep.
against Dewan Bell. So what were your nerves like? Were you like really nervous, or was it everyday business with that 75 fights under your belt in amateurs?
You know, I went in with the intentions on it being business, but you
Yeah.
know, it's a little what do you call it, nerve wracking or whatever, because there's no headgear, there's no shirt, there's smaller gloves, and it was my first time ever putting those small gloves on. So you just throw a regular jab, that's not a regular jab. You know, it's different. You know, and the funny thing is, he actually looked like my dad.
Oh my god.
My dad used to have his hair slicked back, you know, so the dude I was fighting, it's funny I remember, but he had his hair slicked back and he was kind of dancing around in the ring, but I was like beating him up, and I can't remember. I think I stopped him. I think I did stop him.
Yeah, yeah. It was a second round knockout.
Yeah, yeah, you know, but man, good times, good times.
That is awesome. um. So also, like it seems like you're always putting guys down. So like your last three fights have been knockouts. So like, could you tell people like how did you come up with your fight style and all? Because you know, like some fighters like to counter and get the points, but you look like that you just want to go in and get it. So like, how did you wind up coming up with your fight style?
Honestly, you know, I feel like what they say is true. You know, styles make fights. You know, so one of my great attributes is being able to adjust, you know, be multifunctional. You know, I can fight going left, I can fight going right, I can fight going forwards and backwards. You know, I can box or brawl, you know. So I feel like if you're going to be a world champion, you have to be able to be diverse. You can't be
Right.
one dimensional, you know. So it kind of depends on who I'm fighting, but I'm an exciting fighter.
Yes.
I'm going to force my will, you know what I'm saying? Like when we're in there, you're gonna feel my pressure or whatever. I can box but still put pressure on you, you know. So I I feel like I'm an aggressive boxer. I'm aggressive, but I don't get hit a lot, you
Okay.
know. So it's like
Yeah.
I'm from Muskegon, Michigan. That's where I don't know if you ever heard the name Kenny Lane. He's
I don't
like
know. No. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like a, you know, older time boxer. He beat a lot of world champions and stuff, but he was an older fighter, and he said the way to beat a boxer is to fight him, and the way to beat a fighter is to box him.
Boxing.
So it's like it really comes down to who the best man is, but you just have to make smart decisions.
Gotcha. Okay. Awesome answer right there. So like if you could talk about your team, so like has your team, like the trainers and all, had they been with you since amateurs, or like over the couple years has like your team changed?
Okay, so the my original coach from Michigan, he's like a father figure to me. He's still one of my coaches. You know, he'll always be involved in my career and everything. You know, so he's in my corner for every fight because he knows me, he knows my style, all that. And then my trainer Bobby, my more recent trainer Bobby McRoy, he's been with me my last fight and a half. You know, besides that, I was with Bones Adams,
Okay.
former two-time world champion, Bones, which, you know, I love Bones and everything, you know, soaked up a lot of good information from
Yeah.
him and learned a lot. So yeah, but the team has kind of changed a little bit, but Terry's always been there, and now Bobby's there. My personal trainer Anthony, he's there. So right now I kind of got like a core, you know, that's solid.
Yeah, cool. And like it's always cool kind of to change things up too, because like of course you learn stuff along the way, but like it's always good for change and all. Like because like you could always have people that show you to teach you how to fight, but you need people to come up with like the game plans and stuff for like future opponents and all. You know?
Right, exactly. You know, working on strategy, but
Yes.
I'm big on chemistry. You know, like the first time I took my life and my career in my own hands, and that's when I moved to Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
My career started, you know, coming together. You know, actually, I was training myself for a year and a half, and I got the Marcus Bates fight.
Yeah.
You know, and he was what 8-0 with 7 knockouts. I believe he
Yep.
was just coming off a knockout victory, and I didn't fight for 2 years, 2.5 years.
Yeah.
You know, so I I'm big on chemistry. You know, if I'm telling the coach I don't like this or this and that, I expect him to listen and adjust. And if he tells me, I'm going to listen and adjust. You know, it's not a dictatorship, it's chemistry. You know, you got to have great chemistry.
Yeah. Speaking of Marcus Bates, I actually had him on a couple weeks ago. He wants that rematch bad. He was like saying that like he wasn't right. Like he kind of felt like dehydrated a little bit in like the later rounds and all. But like he said that he wants that rematch bad. And like since you guys are like ranked close together, would you want that? Like would that make sense for you now, or would you rather go after like the Angelo Leos and like Fulton Jr. first?
I mean, I would love that fight. To be able to fight, I want to fight the best. Now,
Yeah.
let me keep it real. He's a great fighter. You know, he's a tough guy. But let me also put that into perspective.
Hmm.
Like I said, I came off a 2.5 year layoff. I was training myself for a year and a half. I got that fight. I dominated. You know, I dropped him in the first round. I staggered him in the third, fourth round. 10 more seconds, I knock him out. I believe if we fight again, I stop him in 4 or 5 rounds. I would love that fight only because I truly feel like not only am I the better man and fighter, he's just not on my level, and like that's that. It's funny because the WBA ranked him what number 8, and I'm number 13. I'm
Yeah.
like, let me just go ahead and steal his ranking. You know what I'm saying? If he says he wants to fight, cool. Let's set it up.
Yeah, he was really, really determined because like I asked him what his goals were, and also I always like to ask the fighters if they have like a loss, like their feelings and emotions, were they angry? Did it take them a little bit to take time off, or did they just get back into the gym? But he has some unfinished business against you, and he really wants it to. Yeah,
That's, I actually thought I made him retire because, he went ghost for a minute,
yeah,
So I would love to put him in retirement. You know what I'm saying? If he wants to fight, we can definitely make that fight happen. That's easy money. It's an easy win. I take his ranking. It's a no-brainer for me. But his dad told me he doesn't want us to fight. So I don't think his people believe that he can beat me. But we can set it up. Like I'm for it. If he's for it,
yeah.
we got to see if Marshall can make it happen
Yeah.
and everything like that. But 100%. Do
Okay.
I want the Fulton fight? Yes, I would love that fight. But
Yeah.
I heard through the grapevine, Angelo Leo got that offer and
Yeah.
he's taking it.
Yeah.
You know,
So like it's actually been like really cool. So like your whole weight division, I've like basically had the top guys here on the show. So I had Fulton Jr. was actually my very first guest. I had Angelo Leo. So they both wanted each other. So like I figured I was like, okay, it sounds like it's gonna happen. So I guess that might happen in July maybe. I don't know because like Steven basically kind of hinted that he got his fight date, but he's gonna announce it soon. But they never like officially said they were fighting each other. But I've also heard through the grapevine too that is happening
mm-hmm.
before the year's over. Yeah, so that should be a good fight. Because like
yeah.
yeah, because their fight styles are great. Like Steven's got quick hands, defensive. Angelo will go inside, like literally stand in front of you.
He'll be.
Yeah.
Angelo's he's gonna inch his way forward, by the championship rounds or whatever. They'll be forehead to forehead, But the thing that I do like about Angelo, he keeps his hands up great, throughout like the whole course of the fight, 12 rounds, whatever. He keeps his hands up great, and good movement and everything. It should be a really good fight. I want that fight, but I want the winner. It's
yeah. I mean, like you should easily get whoever wins that for sure, whether it's in Philly or even if you got to fly out to Vegas. But I mean, be in Vegas since you're there. Yeah, that work out great. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I'll be ready. Like I said, I just need the date. Give me the date, and I'll do whatever I have to do. Be 110% prepared.
For sure, 100%. So my next question I have, so Marshall, of course, is a great guy.
Oh yeah.
You wind up signing with Marshall, and how has your relationship been? Because he's probably the most caring guy for his fighters, and he's always there for them. So what's it been like?
Oh man, I love Marshall. He believed in me. He gave me a chance. He gave me an opportunity. I've earned everything I've gotten. I've never had a handout. I don't have a connection that can get me just the opportunity. I've had to earn it.
Yeah.
And a lot of that came after my performance against Bates and stuff like that. It was kind of like prove yourself and I'll take a chance on you type of thing. But I think that Marshall believes in me as a fighter, and there's a lot of fighters who can go their whole career without having people behind them who truly believe in them, and that could be a trainer, that could be a promoter, that could be a manager, but the people behind me, I truly believe I can become a world champion, and I will.
For sure, 100%, definitely. So your last fight I wasn't able to go to because it was on Valentine's Day. I really wanted to go to it, but my girl probably would have killed me if I wound up going to the 2300 arena.
Right. So, hey, that's understandable.
Yep. So you had an awesome win against Adam Lopez, fourth round knockout. So what was it like to kind of get that exposure on Showbox?
I mean, it was great. I feel like it did kind of uplift my career and stuff like that. I was able to showcase my talents and, what I'm about to a wider audience, and it just makes it the stakes even higher.
Yeah.
There's more eyes on you and this and that. But there was no pressure as far as putting on a good performance. It was just go out there, do what I do, and just just win.
Of course. So of course, obviously, you're still young in your career. But what was your favorite victory so far out of the 16 wins? Like, would you say
Mm, honestly, I'd have to say it was the Bates fight.
the Bates fight? Okay.
Yeah, because like, okay, so I I moved out to Vegas with no family, no friends, and just solely for boxing. I'm training for a year and a half by myself, and I get the call. We were trying to fight other undefeated guys,
Yeah.
so he wasn't the first, but nobody would fight me, and politics sometimes.
Yes.
But he's a real fighter. I respect him for taking the fight. But yeah, because that fight kind of was like the domino effect.
Hmm.
You know, I was training with Nonito Donaire. He
Yeah.
invited me to his training camp. That's how I met Bones Adams and stuff. I did great in that camp. So after that fight, that's when I kind of linked up with Bones and he started training me. I ended up running into Greg Hanley, which is Prince Ranch Boxing.
Hmm.
So he's managing me now, which like I'm blessed to have met him, and he's helped me out so much in my career and like mentorship, questions, all that. But yeah, it was. I would say that fight because it started the domino effect. Like everything started clicking after that fight,
Yeah.
and the
That was.
fact that I was offered 2.5 years, and I had that type of performance, and now is the first time in my career to where I've actually been active.
Yeah.
So it's like there's a big difference. Like maybe Bates got a little bit better since that fight, but I've got way, way, way better since that fight.
Oh yeah, for sure. It shows. I mean, if no one even believes the both of us, then you need to go on box rec and check the record because you've gotten a lot better each fight. It's been a hell of a
Yeah.
ride.
Yeah.
So that's at least to my next question with the keyword active. So obviously, the pandemic put our uh, our love for the sport on a pause. So what is your plan once they give the okay? How active would you like to be to finish out the year? Like, are you trying to do maybe 2 or 3 fights, or do you just want to end the year on 2 fights?
If I could have two big fights, I'd be happy. If I could have three, I'd be ecstatic.
Yeah,
Like I want to fight the best and I want to fight. So there's no ducking and dodging, no, oh well, I want an easier fight right now. No, I want you right now, type of thing. And if I could do that 3 times before the year's over with, that would be amazing. Do
yeah,
I think that'll happen? No, I think twice is more probable.
yeah,
But and at this point with the whole pandemic, once fighters out here might be lucky to fight once before the
yeah.
year's over with. To be honest. But we'll see what we can make happen. We tried to fight Brandon Figueroa. They want an easier fight.
Oh
That
yeah,
didn't happen. We tried fighting Fulton in January. They didn't want the fight then. He chose Angelo Leo now. We'll see what happens after they fight. So Ronnie Rios, there's people, but we'll see. We're working on things, and I'd love to fight 3 times this year.
yeah. With Brandon Figueroa, all that I have to say is good luck. His people hide him because like if you saw like Steven fought I think in August, he was in the ring with him, called him out, and Brandon Figueroa was like, yeah, nothing was signed, nothing was talked about it. He has the best people to hide him. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like, especially now, we got to get the fans fights. We got
Yeah.
to get them action-packed fights. I'm an action-packed fighter. We got to get the fans what they want because it's gonna be pulling football numbers. So let's do it for real. The
Oh yeah.
best of the best.
For sure. So now, like your weight class, so like a lot of people focus on like the welterweights, of course, because of Spence,
Mm.
Crawford, Danny Garcia, Pacquiao, and then even the heavyweight division with Fury and Wilder. But yours is like where it's at in the 126 because you got Vargas, Navarrete, Fulton Jr., Angelo Leo, you Figueroa, like like you would 100% want one of those guys. Like out of those, who would you want the most? Would you say
Well, out of all those, it was Fulton. I
Fulton?
want Fulton, and I mean, a lot of it's because, well, I think I can beat all those guys. You know, I think I can beat them all. He's a Philly fighter. I fight in Philly a lot. I'll fight you on your turf and just beat you because I want that recognition. You know, I came in your backyard and knocked you out still, or you know, whatever. Still, I still won. But you know, if I can't have that fight, next in line would probably be Brandon Figueroa.
Brandon Figueroa. Okay.
Yeah. Unless we can just, you know, swerve on all of them and give me Akmadalia, let me get them 2 belts, you know, but politics. So we'll
Sure.
see.
Okay. So I got one more question, and then the other two are fun ones. So this one I always like, but then I don't like because it reminds me how bad of an eater I am. Um, so so when you're cutting weight and stuff, when you're in training camp and making weight, what are like some of the foods that you got to cut out of your diet? Would you say?
Mm, mm. I try to cut out chicken, you know,
Oh,
as far as fried chicken. Honestly, baked chicken too, you know, I try to eat more like turkey and fish and stuff like that. But I'm a little fat kid at heart, you know, so that's kind of more of the problem right there, especially when you're cutting weight because you get those crazy cravings.
yes. Oh yeah.
But it would probably be chicken,
Chicken.
even baked chicken. That's you know.
So are you like a fish guy then, or do you eat something else for
Um,
like camp?
I actually do different kind of diets, you know. So like last camp it was pescatarian. Like 2 camps before that it was a vegetarian diet. You
Oh wow.
know, a camp before that, or you know, another camp was baked chicken. You know, so I'll do different diets just so to mix it up. Not
Okay.
always doing the same thing and all that. But
Yeah,
it's
okay.
all about staying consistent. That's what it's really about.
Yeah, of course. All right. So here's the first fun question. So if you could go out to dinner with three boxers, they could be living or dead. Who would they be?
Okay, Muhammad Ali,
Okay.
Mike Tyson,
Hmm.
and let me see, Marvin Hagler.
I like that. Okay. Yeah, I had Hank Lundy on there, and he chose Marvelous Marv too. Okay.
Yeah, yep. You know, I'm actually left-handed, but you know, I box orthodox. But Marvin Hagler, I used to love his style and just, you know, even the fact that he changed his name to Marvelous, you know, you know, just you know, and it's relatable. You know, I feel like I don't get the respect I deserve, but I'm trying to earn it.
Right.
It's
Of
just
course.
a lot of people are ducking and dodging, so I'll get that opportunity. It's just a matter of time.
For sure, 100%. All right. And also, so I've been doing a poll with the boxers. So I will not believe you if you say that you don't eat this. So what is your favorite Philly cheesesteak spot?
Uh, favorite, um, favorite chili cheese. Hmm. I've been to the two. Well, there's this. Man,
Are
that's a
you at
tough one.
Tony Luke's? So like Tony Luke's is around the corner from the arena. That's like the one that's got like kind of like the patio seating if it's like nice out, or they'll put the cover over the roof of it.
Okay, no, it's not that one. There's one not too far from the 2300 arena. It's the I think they're actually across the street from each other.
Oh, is it at Gino's or Pat's?
Geno's, that's what it was. Geno's.
You are an official tourist. Now, I'm a
Probably, you know. But yeah, Geno's. I've had it like 3 times, but I've
yeah,
also tried a few different ones. But I went back to that one, so I was like, okay, which
gotcha.
one is
Yeah,
yours?
I've never been to Pat's across the street. So that's actually where my grandparents first met there. Even though I never had a cheesesteak from there, but Gino's I've eaten before, and then of course being from Philly, I've e- I've eaten at all the cheesesteak spots. So
Oh yeah, there's a bunch. In Philly, I went to I'd say 4 or 5 different ones, only because my box coach from Michigan loves Philly cheesesteak. So it's like,
yeah.
and then he just buys it for me. So I'm like, cool, you know.
Yeah. Cool. Raeese, thank you so much for joining. I really hope I see you at the arena soon. Maybe it's against Fulton Jr. Or maybe I'll see you on TV, but I'm definitely not going to miss your next fight. So thank you so much for joining. I'm going to let you enjoy the fights on ESPN now.
All right, all right. Thank you for having me on. Appreciate it, and stay tuned for my next fight.
For sure. Thank you, my guy.
All right, thanks.
Yeah.